drivers coming from all over the state. We took the time to head up the day before and connect up off Ice House Road at the beginning of the trailhead. Gave us some time to get up there, get settled, and get ready before we hit the trail the next day. It's always nice to camp up in the mountains an extra day. We have arriven upon the Rubicon Trail. We got in yesterday afternoon to Ice House Resort, which is about 45 minutes down the road from the trailhead. We're now up at the trailhead, ready to start. We got a good group. We got 2 Blazers, actually 3 Blazers, and 2 full-sizes, a Jeep, and I don't think I'm missing anyone, but they're true full-sizes. We got Esteban's battle cruiser, and then we've got a carrier class warship back there. 2 massive trucks to get through. It's gonna be a good time. I'm fired up. Jonathan's first time doing any four-wheeling. And so I just said, let's go straight to the Rubicon. It'll be awesome. So what are you expecting? What do you think?
I mean, I've seen your videos, so obviously I have some idea in mind, some idea. I'm just hoping nothing breaks, or I'm expecting something to break from like the track record of what I've seen. But everybody
on my truck or on just like, somewhere.
Yeah.
Somewhere. Yeah, we'll have something will happen.
But it seems like everybody's really well prepared. Not that I really know what to look for. There was a lot of like activity before we left the campsite, which I'm assuming meant that they were prepping and not just like
farting around,
putting on a show for my benefit.
But, I was actually just putting stickers on my truck.
I don't know how James talks me into trips like this that I'm woefully unprepared for. I haven't driven my truck in 5 years, 6 years. Literally haven't driven it in that long. Hopefully we can have some fun this weekend.
Stoked to be back up here. What an awesome place. I got my brother with me. I've got a bunch of good friends. I've met a bunch of more cool people. I love this sport. Is your drive shaft still there?
You should see Jeff.
He landed right on that shackle. He didn't like slam with it.
Hey, we're keeping it. We're rolling.
You got it.
That was Parker Factor. That was like oh, look at that, man. Want to get out and spot me over?
Yeah.
Watch out for the watercraft. What has to be one of my favorite parts of the Rubicon Trail is just its unrelenting nature. We're quite literally about a mile into the trail at this point, and as you can see, it's just obstacle after obstacle after obstacle. There's very few areas of the trail that you just get to sit back and cruise. That doesn't really exist on the Rubicon, which is what makes it so good. So I'm just going to let you guys enjoy the trail coming up. I'll jump in here every now and then to just give you guys an update on what obstacle or where we're at or challenges for this particular line. But just enjoy the scenery and these awesome trucks doing work up in the High Sierra. Tends to favor a little bit of a longer wheelbase. Here we can see Johnny Woods of Woods Off-Road showing how it is done. It takes a leap of faith to jump over onto your passenger slider like that, hook the front driver up on top of the rock and use it to pull yourself through and around. It's not an easy obstacle, and no, the K30 Blazer did not take a run at it. I've had enough of rolling my truck for a while. But I do have a couple examples of guys cleaning this gnarly obstacle on the trail. So I told Jeff, just get your junk here. And that's exactly what he did. And now he's fixing it in the middle of the trail, which is what four-wheeling's all about.
So the great thing about diesels is they were designed way back in the day to run on fuel that farmers could produce themselves, right? So it could run on peanut oil, soy oil, cotton oil, corn oil. The farmers could grow the crop, they could press it out, they could make oil to run on diesels. Well, as time went on, diesels get more advanced, and so you get a truck like this, it's not running on vegetable oil. But an old truck like this, and that's why I love these 6.2s and 6.5s, is you literally can dump anything in the tank, especially living in California. Don't have to worry about getting too cold and too viscous. You can, if it ends with the word oil, I just put it in the tank. Well, 3 years later, this is what we get. But a diesel, unlike a gasoline motor, it takes a spark to ignite. Diesel, it just squirts the fuel into a really hot combustion chamber, and pretty much anything is going to burn at those temperatures, creating combustion. Good to go.
This was the square we saved, and then it sat there for 4 years. And apparently all the vegetables turned back into vegetables. It clogged his lines. I think there's a carrot in there somewhere.
Straighten out. A little bit driver. You're good. You see right there. Keep coming.
With the late season snow that Cali received this winter, there was more water up on the Rubicon than in years past. Not a problem, the mosquitoes weren't all that bad, and the water added a different element to the trip. There was quite a few crossings, nothing significantly deep. Probably the deepest we saw was about 18 inches, but it was fun. Kept the trip interesting and made for some cool video.
Nope. I knew you were trying though. Here's Esteban in his natural habitat. Return to the sea!
Right after Little Sluice, you drop down towards what's called the slabs that will eventually take you down to Buck Island. But the trail is far from over at this point. It starts to get heavily technical with a boulder field that seems to hang up big trucks no matter what line they take. So sit tight, watch some cool crawling, and take in all of the drama that unfolded when we entered this rock garden on the way down into Buck.
Hey guys, this is familiar.
I need it to be. Oh yeah, because you need a shaft.
Hey, I'm having flashbacks.
Esteban always has problems in this spot.
But he went a different way this time.
Sweat. It's hot. I'm stuck again. It's okay. We're gonna get through this again.
So about 2/3 through the first day, if you're staying at Buck, you get to this section, and it changes fairly constantly. I don't know the name of this, but last time we came straight up the gully. This time we took trail left, and it's still giving Esteban trouble. It's tight and steep and rocky, and there's not a whole lot of great traction, so you tend to slide down into the V. But regardless, we're getting everyone through. Yeah, beautiful. I'm glad it's the longest day of the year because we're going to be out here until dark at least. But look at this, you can't beat it. Yeah, so we got a busted return line, and we got a turtled truck, and we've been here for a while. We think with the busted return line, we can bypass the brake if we can get a new filter. Well, it actually punctured the filter and ripped one of the fittings off, I think. So that's why they're hung up right now. But we're making progress. It's all good.
That's what I kept telling you. Let's cut her up.
Man, that's oil pan. Oh, jeez. We got a serious stuck here. Whoa! Breaking ankles. Whoa! Oh! This is a good one. He rolled a pyramid-shaped rock, and it's literally this far from his transmission. So I told him just to throttle out, but I was overruled. Well, it has been a very eventful couple days on Rubicon so far. Some days you win, some days you get kicked in the teeth. We had a lot of breakdowns yesterday, and there's quite a few people up here with some significant breaks, some injuries. So I'm gonna change this video up. I was gonna do more Rubicon stuff for you guys, but the reality is we come out here for the camaraderie. We come out here for the peace. We come out here for the challenge. We come out here for the beauty. We come out here to test ourselves and push ourselves. And all that stuff, that's what it's really all about. You know, chasing that stuff, improving yourself, improving your skills, improving your confidence in your own skills, and then helping others with the skills that you pick up along the way. So, yeah, I'm proud of our crew. We've done some good recoveries. We've done some first aid on a couple people. Everyone's doing well. I'm glad we got the day at Buck to relax and decompress. Yesterday was about a 14-hour day on the trail. But man, I still wouldn't trade it. Maybe people getting hurt, but working hard, sweating, getting dirty, breaking stuff, that's adventure. Whew. Good morning. Day 3. We're leaving Buck Island today, and we're gonna push all the way out and camp down in Tahoe. So that leaves us with all the trails around Buck, Big Sluice, Rubicon Springs, Cadillac up to Observation, Fire Road out to Sugar Pine. It's gonna be a good day. We're up bright and early. This first section around the lake is a little challenging, but there's the right lines and the not so right lines. So we'll get everyone through. I think we'll be taking some bypasses today just for sake of speed. There is a rather large crew behind us of about, I'd guess, probably 20 rigs. It seemed like it at least. So if we can get out and stay out in front, that will make our day a lot more enjoyable. That's great. Yeah, you climb. Where are we going? Straight over? Yeah, you climb straight up that thing. I mean, look, you can see the tire marks.
God, that's gnarly.
So this is a really cool obstacle. You gotta smear your tire up this as you travel up the notch. What'd you think, dude?
That was probably the gnarliest thing I've done to that truck.
Right on, dude. Look at the tire marks.
Yeah.
Good job. Okay. Pretty special to have my younger brother with me on this trip. Spending time together in the woods, enjoying each other's company, and introducing him to some cool guys at a really, really cool part of the country was super fun. I handed my phone to him on a lot of obstacles, and I said, just film stuff, and that's exactly what he did. What came out of it is some really cool footage that is a unique perspective. This was his first time four-wheeling. This was his first time on the Rubicon. And to see what his eyes were drawn to see the angles that he shoots, to see what he focuses on, kind of gave me insight into his perspective. It was cool. It was a good time to spend with him up there. We're very blessed. We had a great run on the Rubicon with, once again, a great group of guys, and I wanted to turn the mic over to a couple of them to let them speak to some of the attributes of their trucks, some of the things that they like about them, love about them, would change about them, and what coming up to the Rubicon and these various trips means to them. So sit back, enjoy some good wheeling, and listen to these guys describe their rigs.
I get asked all the time why I built such a big trail rig. Well, basically I did it so that I can grab 3 of my kids, throw some kayaks in the truck, throw some firewood, throw some gear, and go out to the middle of nowhere and enjoy the day on the water. Yeah, it's a big truck. Yeah, it takes a little longer to get it through most trails, but if you have patience and spotters with patience, you can get it through most anything. My favorite part of the truck right now is all the body protection. The front bumper, the rear bumper, the rock sliders, the Under Armour. It all helps me pretty much bounce, squeeze, and pry myself through most trails with minimal body damage. Besides a few minor scratches around the body. The only real damage I received during this trip was a blown rear shock. And that's more due to my own fault for not having bump stops back there. So next on the list, new bump stops, front and rear. It's an ongoing project. That's what makes it fun.
Going on the Rubicon for the first time this year was really a rite of passage for both the K5 and me, and really hammered home why I took 3 years to do my 1-ton swap and build that truck. You know, during that time I met with and worked with an amazing industry of suppliers, did a lot of planning, collected parts, learned a bunch. I made a heck of a lot of mistakes, and enjoyed the time with friends doing the work. It was all about fellowship. It all led to getting out and enjoying, you know, both God's creation and amazing people and experiencing the Rubicon. That's all part of the experience and why I do this.
Why do I off-road and rock crawl? Kind of a good question. I grew up off-roading, but I always saw rock crawling as some extreme thing that you broke a lot of stuff and spent a lot of money. It wasn't much interest to me. Now that I live on the West Coast, once I got into it, it's irresistible. You can't stop. It's the thrill of the great outdoors. It's the camaraderie of the people that you meet and the teamwork to get through challenging obstacles and trail fixes and to get back home. Get back off the trail once you start. It's all about the experience, getting away from the day-to-day life and just enjoying the great outdoors. We have a beautiful country, and I want to see it. I want to explore it, and I choose to do it with four-wheel drive and get back up in the woods and the mountains, and that's why I love it. Getting away, relaxing with good people, and just having a good time without the day-to-day stress and drama that we all deal with.
Something on the other side over there. You want me to go check? It looks like there's a trail out on that side, Carl.
Yeah, it does.
Back it up and go. Unless you want to do it.
I don't know if my bumpers will play that.
Oh, there's a bypass if you want.
After dropping down Big Sluice and crawling your way through Rubicon Springs, you reach the bottom of Cadillac Hill, which by no definition of mine should be called a hill. It is a fairly long, really technical, somewhat steep, off-camber, exposed, rocky climb up to the top of observation deck that gives you an absolutely amazing view of the country you've just rolled through. Cadillac Hill is to not be underestimated, though. It packs a punch, and this is after several days of wheeling, so you're often tired and worn out. But pay attention. This thing does have some gotchas, and the exposure just adds a whole new element to it. But it's an awesome way to finish the trail. Everyone rocked it up here. Everyone got to the top in one piece and celebrated our victory. Another successful Rubicon trip. I'm not going to call it over because I've still got to get home. It's about a 5-hour drive for me to get home now. But it's amazing to be able to build a rig, throw all your crap in it, go wheel it, and live out of it for close to a week. This is why I built this truck. It's to bring me these opportunities, these adventures, to meet these awesome people, to see these beautiful things. And it's not that far out of reach for you guys. Carl's truck is a perfect example. We got a K5 Blazer. It's got 1 tons. It's running the stock engine, stock transmission, stock transfer case. He's got a cage in it. He's got quite a bit of body protection in terms of sliders and bumpers and things like that. But other than that, not a whole lot done to it. It's got a set of custom leafs. Probably got like a 4 or 5 inch lift, 35-inch tires. And he dominated through the Rubicon. And you can't tell that it's a built truck from looking at it. It's following me on the freeway. The thing looks like a stock K5. So you don't need to have a 4-linked on 40s with a 6-liter motor to go enjoy yourself. Load up in your stock truck, go find a dirt road, and see where it leads. It has been a wonderful, wonderful trip up here. We have some guys who this is their first time up on the Rubicon. My brother, this was his first time 4-wheeling, and we went straight to the Rubicon. Carl did Big Bear with us and was like, Rubicon? Sure, what could go wrong? And he even convinced his buddy Pat to come along. Did you guys enjoy it?
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
What do you think?
You know, you watch videos and you see it, but to experience it firsthand is just freaking epic. I mean, it was great. And
how'd the truck do?
35 tires. That was daring.
How'd your truck do?
It drove like a champ, man. It got through. Just good spotting, good watching where you're going, watching the rocks, getting around it, and then just, you know, knowing and having confidence in your gear. You know, that's what it's all about. It was great.
And you are a very patient and not careful's the wrong word, but you were deliberate. You were. I don't think you put a tire wrong, apart from when I was spotting you.
Well, maybe Pat.
Well, Pat wasn't so much spotting as just like pointing to things he found interesting.
You were heckling.
Watch out for that disc killer.
Cooch, another good trip?
Absolutely. Great trip. I mean, this is something you have to do. Until you do it, and actually, like you said, go on that trail, the videos just don't do it justice. You don't see the hill climbs, the steepness of the angle, the tippy points.
Yeah.
Doing it in a TJ with a stock wheelbase and lifting tires off the ground. And yeah.
What did you think, Jonathan?
Food's good.
Jonathan, what?
I had a lot of fun.
What are you eating?
Yeah, man. Sausage.
Yummy.
Potatoes.
Rock crawling? Are we going to build you a rig?
You get the money, you get the time.
I think we need to
I
build you a
have
rig.
very little of both.
Solid axle Stratus.
So, yeah, no, it was a blast. I had a really, really good time. Everybody was awesome.
the fact, like the way that everybody worked together and cooperated and helped each other out. That's what stood out to me.
Yeah.
I thought it was pretty awesome.
Yeah, it's cool to build a truck. Like, don't get me wrong, I love wrenching and building something totally sweet and going out there and wheeling it. But you build a four-wheel drive to go off-road. You go off-road to get away from all the noise. And so the ultimate thrust of this is just get out into the woods. Just get out up a dirt road, get out on a trail, go camping, go exploring, get lost. Because that's where you're gonna build the stories and the memories. If nothing had gone wrong,
Pardon?
if nothing went wrong, we wouldn't have anything to talk about.
Yeah.
So,
No jokes.
yeah.
No jokes. No long stories.
Yeah.
But that's the camaraderie and just everyone working together. There's a certain type of person who's drawn to these sort of things. And I like those kind of people. And we got a bunch of them here. So I want to thank these guys for coming along on the trip with us. I hope you guys enjoyed it. It's a little different from what I've done before. It's not as much trail. It's more the experience. But if you do want to watch us do the Rubicon, go look at these videos up here. And I've got them from last time, and you can see the trail in detail. Merrick's Garage.
Merrick's Garage. Merrick's Garage.
See ya.